Hello, Reading Group 4. Okay, so this week's lesson is going to be covering three different things. The first thing we're going to be covering is answering questions that start with where does or what does. Okay, so in this example, I've given you some information. This would be like reading a story, and then we're going to answer a question about the story. Okay, so let's take just a few minutes, and I want you to read. Let me get it out of the glare there. I want you to read this sentence to yourself. Okay, and our question is asking, where does Jane wait? And remember what we've learned so far about building our answer is that we need to put arms around the asking part of the question, and we're going to start our answer with Jane. Okay, so it says, where does Jane wait? So we're going to start building our answer with Jane. And because Jane is not here right now, she's not you and she's not I or you. She's third person. She's someone who is not here and we're talking about her. So that means that the action word that she's doing, she's waiting, needs to have an S put on the end of it. I wait, you wait, but Jane, who is somebody else, Jane waits. So to build our answer, we need to start with Jane waits. And then we're going to go find where. We need to read the story again, go back into your story, which in this case is just a simple sentence, and figure out where does Jane wait. This says that Mike sees Jane wait by the gate. So we're going to answer Jane waits, and we finish it off, by the gate. The importance of being able to answer in complete sentences is helping us with our writing. If we can think in complete sentences, then we can write in complete sentences. So that's what we've been working on all year long, is being able to answer and think in complete sentences. Where does Jane wait? Jane waits by the gate. And using the correct form of the verb, the action word, is also very important to our writing skills. Okay, so let's try another one. We're now going to take a few minutes and read the sentence at the top. Okay, Jake and Dean roam by the sea. The question is asking, where does Dean roam? So again, we build our answer by taking the asking part off. We're going to start with Dean roam, but remember, this is somebody who's not here. Dean is not here right now. That's somebody else. We need to start with Dean roams. We add the S. So Dean roams, and then go back into your story and find out where. It says by the sea, so we need to add that to the rest of our sentence. Dean roams by the sea. And then, of course, our answers always get finished off with a period. We can't forget the period. Start with a capital, end with a period. Okay, let's try one more just for practice sake. Take a few minutes to read the sentence at the top. Okay, it says Dave pays Joan to tame the foal. Dave pays Joan to tame the foal. The question wants to know, what does Joan tame? Okay, building our answer, we take off the asking part. We know we're going to start with Joan tames, because Joan is not here right now, so that's someone else. Joan tames, we add the S. What does Joan tame? We go back into the story, find our answer. The foal. Joan tames the foal. Finish it off. Make sure it started with a capital. Make sure it ended with a period. Okay, so you will have some practice with those in the worksheets for this week. We're going to go ahead and look at our next lesson, the next portion of our lesson, which is dealing with letter names. So we're going to kind of have a little brief history lesson here in how the Greeks, many thousands of years ago, came up with our alphabet. Our alphabet came from the Greek language. This was the symbol for alpha. They called this alpha and they called this beta. And if you put those two words together, alpha, beta, it sounds an awful lot, alpha, beta, it sounds an awful lot like alphabet. Our symbol for alpha is an A. Our symbol for beta is a B. So alpha, beta, or in the English language, this is Greek, alpha, beta. In the English language, it's A, B. So we have names for our symbols as well. We don't call ours alpha or beta. We call ours A, B, C, and D. Now this is how you spell alpha. So we need to come up with how do we spell A's name. Well, this is where our vowel patterns are going to come in. Which vowel pattern do we hear? If I had to spell A's name, which vowel pattern would I use? This one says O. I can't use O to spell A. That's not going to work. This one says A. I can use this one. There's already an A here, so I'm just going to add the I. Now, I can't leave an I hanging at the end of a word, so I'm simply going to go back and change it to a Y. So this is how we would spell A's name. Now, how would we spell B's name? This is beta. That's how they spelt it, but we spell it B. Which vowel pattern could we use to spell B-E? One of these two. It doesn't matter which one you choose. You can either spell it B-E-E or you can spell it B-E-A, okay? But this is how we would spell B's name. How would we spell C? C. Again, we can choose one of these. So we're just going to choose the other one this time and spell it this way, C. How would you spell D? Again, choose one of these, D. Okay, in your worksheet, this is page 44, okay? These are the names, these are the letters that they want you to come up with. How would you spell those names? And again, you're going to be using your peanut butter and jelly vowel patterns to help you out, okay? So how would you spell, here's J. How would you spell J's name? You would have to use this vowel pattern, just like they spelled K. So you would have to spell J the same way they spelled K. All right, so you're going to be spelling these letter names, and the reason, we have a reason for this lesson. It seems very silly, I know that, but there is a reason behind this lesson. We're going to be getting into short vowel sounds next school year, and we do use letter names for our short vowel sound, such as, how would you spell this guy's name? Well, it uses a short vowel pattern, L. This is how you would spell L's name, L, M, N, S, X, and F. They're all spelt using the short E, and we can use these in words as the vowel pattern. So that's why we are learning this silly lesson about how to spell letter names, because we're going to be using it next year, okay? So there is a point to my madness. All right, our last thing that we're going to be learning is we're going to be taking a look at some capitalization rules. And so let's take a look at this sentence. If I go to the, oops, I'm running out of room, to the lake, comma, I will take Jane. Oops, my brain is not working very well today. With me. Okay. We're not worried about punctuation in this lesson, so I've gone ahead and given you the period and the comma. What we're taking a look at is capitalizing. What all in this sentence should be capitalized that is not? Okay, obviously, I'm sure you're all shouting out that the very first word always gets capitalized, right? So the first word in a sentence should be capitalized. What else in this sentence should also be capitalized? This is one that a lot of you guys make this exact same mistake when you do your writing. Back when we had class and you had writing over at Miss Massey's table, a lot of you did not capitalize this word when you should have. It is the word I. I is the name that you're giving yourself in this sentence. You are calling yourself I. That has become your name. And because it's your name, it must be capitalized. If it's at the beginning of the sentence and if it's in the middle, it always gets capitalized because I is your name. You're calling yourself I, okay? Another thing that should be capitalized is anybody else's name. Do you see anyone else's name in this sentence? Yes, right here. Okay, so we need to capitalize Jane as well. Okay, now everything has been capitalized the way that it should be in this sentence. Okay, that was just a brief, quick lesson in capitalizing. Here are your worksheets, the rest of your worksheets for this lesson. I'm giving you some practice with the answering questions. Remember, we just practiced capitalizing, so make sure that you're using capital letters where you should be in your answer choices. Remember to build your answers by putting arms around the two asking words, starting your sentence with Dave. And because Dave is not here, it needs to be Dave likes. And then you need to finish it from the sentence says that he likes. Dave likes what? You're going to finish the what. Okay, so make sure that we're answering correctly. Make sure that we're capitalizing things the way that we should and putting a period at the end. Your last worksheet practice for this lesson is going to be page 35. It's just a word search. You can highlight them or circle them. Then I'm giving you 2 stories to read. I'm giving you no bait for Mike. I want you to answer these answer these questions using the skills that we just learned. Remember, Joan rides, and then find what she rides from the story. We're practicing that answering questions correctly. And then we're going to do it again on page 21. You've got some more of that same type of practice of answering questions. Your story is just getting a little bit longer. Okay, that's it for this lesson. We'll see you next time.